This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome back to another episode of the FXBG Neighbors Podcast, where we share the stories of our favorite local brands. I'm excited to introduce you to my guest today. We've got Louise Jolley joining us. She is with Flykup Scottish Fancy Pieces. Louise, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Dory. Welcome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I am so excited to learn more about you and your business. So let's start there. Share with us, what is Flykup Scottish Fancy Pieces?
All right. Well, Flykup Scottish Fancy Pieces is a growing brand, and it's based around a modern Scotland. I have handcrafted, designed gift items that are made in Scotland. Basically, it's trying to bring that modern version, not the souvenir version of Scotland that everybody knows. The kilts, the tartan blankets, the tartan scarves. I'm trying to show more craftsmanship, more originality to Fredericksburg.
I love that so much. So clearly you are from Scotland. Tell us about your background. I want to learn all about your journey and then what led you to start this business.
Okay, well, I'm from Aberdeen in the northeast of Scotland, born and bred there. All my family still lives there. And basically, Flykup, the name in Scottish Fancy Pieces, comes from Aberdeen. It's a tradition only in the northeast of Scotland. So basically, mid-morning or mid-afternoon, any day of the week, somebody could say to you, do you want a fly cup and a fancy piece? And that would be a quick cup of coffee or tea and something sweet. So I played on that tradition that I grew up with for the name of the business. So I came here 31 years ago. I've been living in Fredericksburg for 26 years. I raised my family here, so I know the area very well. The reason I started Flykup was kind of twofold. Homesickness. I think as you get older, you appreciate where you came from more than you do when you're younger. Cheryl was trying to move away and do something different. And then, my kids growing up, because I was a stay-at-home mom for most of their lives. So it leaves a big gap, as most women will know, it leaves a big gap. So you've kind of got to reinvent yourself. And I've reinvented myself many times through my life, but this was a big one because, the house gets quieter. So I just, I went through many iterations of what I could do, what I couldn't do. And I thought about Flykup, and I've always thought about how Americans romanticize Scotland. And I wanted to give them something different about Scotland. So this is where the idea of the fancy pieces came, because I was thinking Flykup, then I was thinking fancy piece I could tie it together for a gift store. And really that's where the idea came from. And it just it landed really well. And I thought I can do something with this. And then I started pop-ups and fairs and festivals, building up my tent every weekend, pulling it down. Thank goodness I've got a good husband. He helped me lift all the boxes. I couldn't have done it without him. And really just kind of tested the concept for about a good year and a half. And it just took off. Every fair got better and better and better. And especially here in Fredericksburg, I got a great response from the population here. So I decided to pull the trigger and just go for it. And that's where that happened, 8 months ago now. I can't believe it's 8 months already. But it's been received very, very well. And I think what is resonating with people is the authenticity. Because when I think Flykup, I think authenticity. Because I basically know all my makers. I know where they come from, why they do what they do, and how they do what they do. So in most of the products that I try and take in, I research and get to know the people that make them. It's important to me to have those stories.
That's amazing. I love that so much. And how fun is it for you to go through that process of sourcing all of these items from your hometown? Is that challenging or is it just magical?
Yeah, it's not necessarily just from. I go all over Scotland for the products. I have these books that are used books that are made into book art from a lady in my area of Scotland, Aberdeenshire. But I go all over Scotland when I try and find products. I do it via the internet's a great way to find people, and then I communicate with them and get to know them, get to know, where the materials come from. Does everything get done in Scotland? When I say I do handmade and designed, if it's designed, it means it is designed in Scotland. It may just leave Scotland to be put together, but it doesn't leave the UK at all. I don't take products in that go anywhere else in the world. It stays within the UK and then goes back to Scotland, because sometimes there's just not the mills to put certain like bags together, so it has to go to another, I have some chocolates that I have that have to go to another vendor to put in an ingredient, and then it comes back again. It's a lot of research goes into it, a lot of research, because it has to be authentic for me and has to have a story, because people love the stories. They really do.
Yeah. So do the products kind of rotate then throughout your store, or do you have vendors that you like keep all the time? Or talk to me a little bit about that.
That's a good question. I stick with probably three major products. It's the products I actually started the pop-ups with. That's my whiskey frames that are made from retired Scottish whiskey barrels. And on the back of some of those, there's a number that will tell you the distillery in Scotland that the barrel came from. And some of these barrels have been holding whiskey for about 80 years. So there's some stories on those frames. The other thing was the book art that I was talking about. I think it's such a creative way. She doesn't cut or glue any pages when she folds the pages. She just folds it with a teaspoon. It's insane. And then I have slate products, Scottish slate that's hand cut and then etched with different designs, which are made into coasters, jacuzzi boards, all different housewares. So those are the sort of standards I keep. After that, I kind of rotate. I was in Scotland in January for the Scottish Trade Fair and found about 9 new artists that I'm really excited about. So I've taken in maybe about 3 of those products so far, and I'll just kind of slowly bring them in over the year. But it's exciting. It's great to see small businesses back home being helped by me here as a small business. It's really interesting. I'm getting asked to be a distributor for some product makers, and that's another avenue for the business maybe down the line. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's very rewarding as well.
Yeah, yeah. I love that so much. And I imagine it's a lot of fun for you when people come into the store, maybe who don't have any experience with Scotland, and you get to share a little
Yeah.
piece of home with everyone. So I bet that really just lights you up.
It does. And I mean, I opened last October and Christmas time was just amazing. I and my family have always been known as the gift giver because I always think of weird and wonderful things for everybody. So it's nice now for me to be able to give that to other people. So people were coming in at Christmas and maybe bought a frame. And because of the story behind it, they were so excited when they left the store. And they would come back maybe a week later and say, I had to give the gift before Christmas because I was just so excited. So I think, as I say, it's the authenticity along with the storytelling that I think people are looking for nowadays. Because nothing I sell, you'll ever find on Amazon or any of the big platforms. And that's the beauty. And I think the piece that we have as small businesses that tops these big platforms, they can't give what we give. And people, I definitely felt my first Christmas season in the shop, I felt people were really resonating with that. They really wanted to help small businesses, shop small businesses, have that story or have that unusual gift. So it was really rewarding. It was really fun. It was a lot of fun to see people walk out so excited about a gift they had for maybe their father or their mother or whoever. It was cool.
Really
It was
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really cool. Yes. So for all of our listeners, shop local and shop for something with meaning, and you can
Yeah.
get it right here in Fredericksburg.
I think so. I mean,
Hmm.
I think Fredericksburg's a wonderful place if you want anything. It's the shops that have come in, the stores that have come into Fredericksburg are so unusual, so diverse,
Yeah.
me included. I mean, I think people are loving it. I mean, I see the customers that come into my store now and they're coming further afield just for a shopping day in Fredericksburg because
Hmm.
they've heard how how vibrant it is now. They're coming from DC, they're coming from Maryland, they're coming from North Carolina. I get that every weekend, they're just down for the day for shopping. So that's great. It's great for all of
Yeah.
us.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I wonder, are there any myths or misconceptions that you hear about your business?
Yeah. Yeah. I think people feel when they hear Scotland or Scottish store, they
Hmm.
automatically think of tartan. They think
Mm,
everything's going to be tartan, and even maybe a little old-fashioned,
hmm.
because of obviously the history of Scotland. But that's not what I'm showing. I'm not a souvenir store. I'm a store
Hmm.
that's trying to show craftsmanship, storytelling, as I've said,
Hmm.
modern. That's the word. The phrase that I started Flykup with was, "I'm trying to show you a modern Scotland." So you're
Yeah.
not going to get any of those traditional things in my store. You're not going to get the keyring
Hmm.
with your tartan on it, or your family crest. Now
Right.
I do have certain items that I just took in called they're kilt bags. So they resemble a kilt, but they're a
Hmm.
handbag. But the difference there is it's a modern take on an old item,
Hmm.
and then it's 100% made in Scotland, which is important to me. So
Hmm.
yeah, there's the myth that I would say that people think it's just all going to be tartan and old.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
Right.
really not.
Yeah. No, you're featuring amazing artisans, and
Yeah.
such a cool thing.
Yeah, it blows
What?
me away how creative humans can be. It
Mm,
really does. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So much fun what you do. I love it.
The other thing I wanted to say was,
Hmm.
one of the things that's important to me is upcycling, recycling,
Mm.
using materials in different ways. The whiskey barrel's got a new life, the books have got a new life. I even
Yeah.
have an artist who uses upcycled shotgun cartridges and bullets and makes key rings and
Oh,
cufflinks. And
wow.
yeah, so I like to get that part into the store as well, because obviously I've got two grandchildren now. I want to play my part in trying to
Hmm.
save the planet as much as I can.
Yeah. I
So that's
absolutely
important.
love that. Hmm. Is there anything else that you want the listeners to know about Fly Cup?
I would say you're welcome to Flykup anytime,
Hmm.
because you can come in and have a Flykup with me. I have a complimentary Flykup bar at the back of the
Oh,
store with a
oh,
couple of
cool.
chairs, literature about Scotland, because people come in and they want to talk to me about their trips or their potential trips, their heritage.
Hmm.
So I wanted to bring forth the Flykup tradition I grew up with, which I still do in my own home. I still do it with my parents when they visit. My daughter loves a Flykup. And it's just a moment in time you take out of your day to sit down and basically smell the roses. Really, that's
Hmm.
what it's about. You just share a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, a sweet piece. Normally back home it would be home baking,
Hmm.
or a shortbread. And you
Yeah.
just sit and chat for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and then you go your separate ways and get on with your day. So
Hmm.
I welcome anybody in the store if they want to come and have a fly cup.
I love it. I love it. If the listeners want to find you, if they want to connect with you, where can they find you?
I am at 810 Caroline Street. It's the shops at 810. And I have flycup.com, and I'm also on Instagram and Facebook.
Amazing. Amazing. Louise, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today and sharing Fly Cup with us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com.